Yeah, rad. What's up, guys? Welcome back to episode 3. My name's Travis. You probably don't recognize me because I'm always behind the camera. I fly the drones, shoot the GoPros, and edit the videos. So you probably never see me unless it was by accident in the background. So welcome to episode 3. If you haven't seen 1 and 2, be sure to check those out on our YouTube channel and like and subscribe so you can be notified when we drop a new episode. So in this episode, we're gonna be doing some really cool stuff. So we're gonna be installing some brackets on the housings and on the frame still. So we're gonna be tidying all that stuff up you saw in episode 2. We got some limit strap brackets. We got some track bar brackets that we're working on. Our bump stops, we have to finish those up. Also, we're gonna have to modify our steering box because where it lands on the frame, it kind of messes up all of the cool custom stuff we've been doing. So we gotta fix that. We got a really cool Genrite gas tank we're gonna be putting under this thing to enlarge our fuel capacity for the big V8. We gotta finish our reservoir mounts for the rad Fox shocks we're putting on this thing. And then when we wrap that all up, we're gonna be taking it to powder coat. So it's gonna get a nice flat black, it's gonna look rad. During the powder coat time, we're gonna mini tub the body because where the shock hoops actually land, they're not exactly where we want them. So we need to move those in a little bit. So we're gonna be mini tubbing the body. The last thing we'll cover is our third member tooling. We actually had to make new tooling for the cool 14-bolt dropouts so we could assemble everything. And then we're gonna get into the pinion support and then probably the third member later on in the next episode. So be sure to like and subscribe, put the notification bell on. It's freezing out here. Let's get inside and get to it.
Early on in the mock-up of the driver's side bump stop and track bar brackets, it came to our attention that the 2 rear bolts from the steering box would interfere with the driver's side bump stop bracket. This problem arose because it was designed to be mounted from the outside of the frame. Easy workaround, we simply drilled out the existing holes and welded in some threaded bungs which reversed the side the steering box bolts from. Then we machined the 2 ears on the steering box and we were back on track with the rest of the bracket work. The tack bar brackets simply straddled the other 2 bolts, so we left those as is. The limit strap housing tabs had the same problem as the lower coilover mounts. They were made for a 3-inch tube, so rather than grinding them, we fly cut them on our milling machine to fit the 3.5-inch tube. Other than a couple brake line tabs, the reservoir mounts were the last of the frame brackets. For those, we fabricated mounts using the correct diameter stock to fit our very cool billet mounts and welded tabs on both ends. Simple and clean. Once the last of the brackets were positioned and tacked in place, and all the possible articulation combinations were double checked, we once again disassembled everything and proceeded with the finish welding. The installation of the new Genrite 25-gallon gas tank was easy. The steel tub mounts to the frame with integrated mounting tabs. However, before you can do that, the well in the back has to be cut out and a supplied cover plate is installed. The cover plate is a bolt-on design and features an access window for the fuel pump in case it ever needs servicing. We chose the Genrite gas tank for its expanded capacity and for our V8 swap because the factory tank positioned on the passenger side wouldn't work with the exhaust and suspension cross members. Their kit locates the tank in the back and includes everything for a fuel-injected emissions legal Jeep, plus features a heavy-duty steel tub that serves as a skid plate and mounting piece for the awesome aluminum tank. Now that all the body mounts were lined up from the firewall to the rear bumper, We discovered the radiator core support was misaligned enough that it would not bolt up the way it needed. So we decided to do it right and brought the Jeep back to the body shop to straighten and align the core support. This would guarantee the fenders and hood lined up without a fight. We had never seen how a body shop straightens bent sheet metal, and it was really cool to see the process. They had the right equipment and tooling to do the job and made it look easy. Once back from the body shop, we thought we had everything dialed in perfectly. However, we wanted to do some last-minute double checking of all the articulation combination with the wheels and tires on. We discovered the rear coil spring to tire clearance was just too close for comfort at full articulation, something we missed on other previous checks. We decided to move the upper coilover mount inward, which required mini-tubbing the body. This is a lot easier with the body off the frame, which we knew would happen anyway for powder coating. Therefore, we marked the body near the tubular coilover mounts before removing it from the frame for the last time. That way we would know where to cut and install the mini tubs. Once the body was off, we cut and installed a pair of mini tubs and moved the coilover mounts inward on the frame. Once the rear coilover mounts were removed and all the welding was finished up, it was time to do the final prep for powder coat. This included any deburring and disassembly needed to get the frame, housings, and control arms ready to deliver to our favorite powder coater. While we patiently waited for the powder coaters, we turned our attention to assembling the two third members. These prototype GM 14-bolt dropouts were new to us, and to do the assembly right, we had to machine new fixtures to use in the press for the bearing cups, cones, and seals. Our third member assembly started with the pinion support. Like the Ford 9-inch, the pinion support on the Super 14 was assembled separately. First, we installed the cups in the billet support using our new bearing drivers and hydraulic press. Next was setting the pinion bearing preload. The best way to do this is with a solid pinion spacer, which can be shimmed, no crush sleeves on our setups. For this step, we use light oil instead of grease on the bearings to get an accurate feel for the bearing preload. We start with more shims than needed, and through trial and error, zero in on the correct amount of shims. This is all done on a special fixture with a pair of slightly oversized cones that slip on and off easily. which makes for quick assembly and disassembly during the trial and error shimming process. Next, we press the bearing cones on the pinion, then the yoke seal. After installing a special high-temp grease on the seal, we pressed on the pinion yoke and torqued it to our prescribed torque value.
All right, everybody, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you know when we drop our next episode. We'll be making another one real soon. Also, if you guys have any questions about the Jeep build, drop a comment below. We will do our best to answer all your guys' questions. All right, I think that's it. I'm gonna be wrapping this up. We'll see you in the next one. Well, not me. I'll be back behind the camera.